Welcome back to Season 3 with Esbjerg. We're on the 28th of February and we have completed the January transfer window. We've not really done a huge amount, but we have technically brought in somebody who is definitely a very good footballer. It's a very odd way of describing a footballer. This isn't it, by the way. It's Andreas Nonbo has signed from Viborg and then we've immediately loaned him out. He's one for the future. This player, though, former Premier League footballer, Emi Marcondes. Now, I think this is a good signing. On a free transfer as well. It cost us absolutely nothing. I assume he got released by Bournemouth? Or he just didn't have a club for like 6 months? But Marcondes is in. £3,700 a week is not a lot of money either for a player of Marcondes' ability. Problem is, he plays in a position that we don't play. We're training him up to be a right winger. Which, if you look at his attributes, I think he's probably good enough to play there. In other news as well, we have managed to sell Daniel Gadegaard on a free transfer to OB. He was out of contract at the end of the season. OB went, we'll take him now if you'll let him go. So we did that. Oliver Svensson as well has gone out on loan to FC Helsingborg. They're paying some money for him. Also, through January and February, we have played a whole load of friendlies where we should have picked up a load of money. We have played in the money tournament, which I think was a league, if I'm not mistaken. FC Midtjylland, Randers and AGF. Basically, I played a lot of local-ish teams, thinking that we might get some rivalry money going on there. We then, in the We Need Money semi-final, and then obviously third place playoff, we had Panathinaikos, Salzburg, and I'm not quite sure. AEK, apparently. Panathinaikos won the whole thing. And then in the More Money Cup, we had a whole bunch of Austrian teams. Austria Wien, Wolfsberger, and somebody else. Who did Wolfsberger play? It was Reed, or Reid. I'm not quite sure what way round that's pronounced. But yeah, it was lucrative, but not as lucrative as we perhaps need it to be. We've also played FC Copenhagen in the league. Lost 3-0 because, you know, they're very good at football and we're not. And just to kind of put that into perspective, this is the current league table. It looks okay. However, if we lose against Nordsjælland in today's episode, we will lose ground. I say lose ground. They will gain ground on us. And we are still in this relegation battle. A win could potentially move us all the way up to 8th, assuming we spin around a -9 goal difference. So then, for the Nordsjælland game away from home, it will be Valeri Jurchuk in goal, Tim de Beer, Zach or Oscar Block, and Zach Medley in defence. De Beer's playing as a right-back today because of injuries, and we literally have one right-back. So, yeah, De Beer, he's not really the best right-back, but of the options, he can do a decent enough job. Strunk and Larson in the middle of the pitch. I was tempted to play Strunk as a right-back because he can play there, but I think he's better used in the middle of the pitch. Marcondes, Montano, Meyer, and Jallo. Is it Jallo? Is it Yallo? Is it Hallo? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, I'm going to carry on calling him Jallo. FC Nordsjælland are massively, massively underperforming. Their team is ridiculous. If you just look at like 2 or 3 of their players, they are miles, and I mean miles better than what we actually have to offer. So the fact that they are down in 11th place in a relegation scrap, I don't know what's happened. They are too good to be in that position. Kwarteng with a throw for Nordsjælland. Campagna, he's going to go for a run all the way back to the centre-back Messick. Now Dorgeles, I was going to call him Douglas. It wasn't Douglas at all. It's Campagna's hit the post, and the makeshift right-back Tim de Beer can clear it. De Beer, by the way, isn't happy about playing as a right-back. Free kick for Kuvas in a good position. Zach Medley clears. Montano, now can we counter-attack? Meyer collects it. He's got 2 in towards the middle. Montano gets it backwards to Oscar Block. Forward towards nobody. Not the header we want to go for. I say the header, the ball we want to go for. And now Nordsjælland can possibly do something themselves. Diamande, down that left-hand side. Campagna. Svensson can come forward. Lots of space with that first touch. Was spectacular, wasn't it? It's Koulibaly in the middle. It's Toku. He's hit the post. Oscar Block can clear it. And that ends the highlight. We are getting very, very lucky here. Nordsjælland should probably be winning. Montano's ball can't find Meyer. And now it is Nordsjælland in a good position. It is Nordsjælland in a good position until Zach Orr nicks it. Tim de Beer all the way back to Valeri Jurchuk. I was expecting to lose Jurchuk in December because he was out of contract. I've extended it because he's pretty good as a goalkeeper. Meyer through ball, tries to get it to Jallo. Marcondes' long-range effort and almost a first goal in Esbjerg colours for Emi Marcondes. Free kick in a good position though for Nordsjælland. Diamande just outside the penalty area, goes over the bar. Nothing to worry about there for the goalkeeper. Kubas with a free kick. It's all Norgesland, isn't it? It's all Norgesland. They've hit the bar again, and Larsen can clear it. Their XG is 1.3 at the moment, and it is currently 0-0. If we can nick a point, nicking a point doesn't sound great, but away from home against a Norgesland team who realistically should not be in the position that they are in, I will probably be happy with a point. My assistant manager says I'm happy with the performance. I am going to say that, and then individually to the wingers, I'm not happy with you two. You're the ones that are struggling. Straight into the second half, and we had a highlight, but it happened so quickly, I don't even know what happened. We've got a corner. Marcondes is the man to take it. Front post is, I'm not even sure, I think it's Mayer. It's gone off for another corner. Marcondes again goes over to take it right-footed towards Mayer at the front again. It's hopefully kept alive. Oscar Block passes it back to Tin De Beer. Highlight ends. What was that all about? So far, Marcondes is he's not doing well, is he? It's his second appearance for Esbjerg, and he's on a 6.4. It is Norgesland coming forward. Dorgales with a yellow card. Back to Messick, also with a yellow card. Kubas in the middle. Dorgales back to Messick again. They're just trying to find their way through. Both their centre-backs are booked. I would say that's interesting, but I don't think we can really do anything to kind of capitalise on that. Dorgales plays it back to Mara. Kubas, now Kwarteng. I mean, they're just passing it. They're not really going anywhere at the moment. Big lump upfield. Finds Zakor, who passes to De Beer, and De Beer loses out. And they've taken the lead because our goalkeeper wanted to stand on the penalty spot. This is potentially an awful, awful result. 70 minutes on the clock. We're going to do 3 changes. Sraha, Seka and Holton coming on. Marcondes, Block and Jallo coming off. Not necessarily in that order, but you can probably work out who's going to be playing where. We have got a highlight before the subs have taken place. So they might not actually take place depending on what happens here. It's gone off for a corner. Are the subs going to happen now? They are, and we don't see the corner. Good. We've definitely deserved to lose this game, haven't we? We got, 10 minutes-ish? 11 minutes of normal time to try and find an equaliser. Their goal was lucky as well. Their goal was just a poor bit of defending. I say defending, poor bit of possession, wasn't it? Toku's ball, Svensson on the left-hand side, loads and loads of space. De Beers just left him to just have fun down there. Zakor can intercept, that's good. But he clears it to nobody. Absolutely nobody every single time. They've subbed a couple of centre-backs by the looks of it. It is Kubas off towards the right-hand side. It's Gunderlund. Lots of space to run into as well. He's gone back to Kubas. Crosses it in. Campagna's there. Just wide of Jurchuk's post. It is going to be a 1-0 defeat against Norgesland. And this is potentially awful, isn't it? This is potentially absolutely awful. Now, I would say we just need to take our chances. But if we actually go by that mentality, so do Norgesland. They should have won 3-1. Should have been the final score there. So with that defeat, our 11th defeat of the season, we are still obviously 10th place. Luckily for us, Viborg and Velia didn't win. I guess that's kind of a big thing. It looks like Viborg drew, but that doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. Norgesland have closed the gap. AC Horsens are stranded at the bottom of the table. But when we go into the second part of the season, the third quarter of the season, or the third of the season, I don't know how it works, we will play the teams from 7th down to 12th. So we will be playing against our closest rivals. Right, now we're going to play 3 matches off camera. We're going to play the FA Cup quarterfinals. I guess it's the FA Cup. We're going to play both of those against Midtjylland. I expect to win nothing. We're also going to play Randers off camera. We're going to come back for Horsens, which is potentially awful. Because if we lose this one on camera, we're in a bad way. It's the day of the Horsens game. Arguably a must-win game, although technically doesn't really matter at this point. We are in the bottom 6. There's no way we're getting into the top 6. But I guess we still need to pick up the points, and it is a game that we should win. We have lost to Midtjylland. We actually drew and then lost 5-2. We picked up a point against Randers. Potentially we should have picked up more. We were 2-0 up. And then our goalkeeper, because he's the size of an average 12-year-old, conceded 2 late goals. This is what the league table looks like. Again, one win could move us up to 9th place. One win's possible. We've also got to play Bromby as well, who, they're not the best. They're not the worst, but they're not the best either. The starting lineup then for the Horsens game. Jurchuk, Mortensen, Orr, De Beer and Medley in defence. Strunk and Willis in the middle of the pitch. Willis is playing as a central midfielder today. He did play as a left-back and scored against Randers. So, he can play now as a left-back, sort of. Shandon and Montano as our wingers. Marcondes and Jallo as our strikers. We Frustratingly, if I can find him, where is he? He's going to be far down the list. We are missing Matteo Major now until 3 weeks' time because he damaged his shoulder in training like yesterday. That is a potentially massive problem for us. Well, Horsens look like they're just playing to not lose. That is 7 defensive players they've got there. I guess they're looking to play on the counter-attack, which is fair enough. We, however, will be playing on the front foot because that's how we've played for the last 2.5 seasons. Why would we change now? 8 minutes on the clock. Horsens have the ball coming forward quite a distance. Apondo hits the post and Zach Orr can calmly spin around in the 6-yard box and clear it. First chance goes to Horsens. Arguably should be winning. Zach Medley with a throw. I keep speaking with the Ostend manager because he's moaning that I'm playing Zach Medley as a left back and not a centre back. And then I say to him, don't worry, he's getting football, and then he stops caring. So I don't know why he keeps talking to me because Zach Medley's playing football, don't worry about it. It is Masunda on that left-hand side for Horsens. We had the ball in a very good position, and then we've given it away, haven't we? Jensen to Killerich, now Kurt forward to Masunda again on the left-hand side. There's only one, maybe 2 options in the middle. Fiabema to Kurt, goes for a long-range effort. Yurchuk just about stops that one. Corner for Horsens then. It is Gemma to take it from the right-hand side. Cleared header. Hope you gets the flicked head clear further. Highlight ends. Something could have happened from that. Obviously it didn't, but something could have done. Tinderbeer with a free kick then. 31 minutes. Zach Medley down the line. He's a big left back, isn't he? Montano into the penalty area. Crosses it in. Marcondes is there. The flag doesn't go up. The referee calls it back. I think Marcondes has scored his first goal for Esbjerg. To be fair, where Montano crossed that ball in, it's very difficult for Marcondes to even be offside. So Montano has the ball here. He's basically on the touch. I think he's offside. He looked offside. Then again, Gomez was off the pitch, wasn't he? Watch Gomez, the defender. So Gomez plays everybody on. Yeah, so we're fine. It's 1-0. And that goal moves us up to 9th place. Horsens almost immediately getting themselves an equaliser. Not ideal. Norgesland are beating Silkeborg as well, which isn't good. We want Norgesland to lose every game, and then it's just going to be Horsens and Norgesland getting relegated. That's the dream. That's what we're after. Half-time, we are 1-0 up away from home. This is good. We've created lots. I like what the scoreboard looks like. I think that's what the team talk was. Zach Medley is on a 6.4. Mortensen on a 6.6 and is absolutely knackered. Hope's on a 6.4 as well. Jallo's on a 6.6, not really doing a lot. Shandon collects it. 3 in the box. Plays it back to Mortensen. Shivani Willis outside the penalty area. It's fallen from Marcondes. What a save that is from the keeper. Tinderbeer keeps it alive. No, he doesn't. Viborg have taken the lead against Randers. That's not good either. Snore with a goal kick. 20 minutes of normal time. It is still with Horsens. The scoreline's too close at the moment. A 1-0 win is fine, but 1-0 trying to defend that lead is not ideal. If it's 2, then that's fine. I think we can kind of not sit back, but we can feel a little bit more comfortable on a 2-0 win, or 2-0 advantage, should we say. Willis to Tin. Plays it across to Zakor. Now Strunk sticking to the right-hand side, and that's why we shouldn't have passed to the left. It's Fiabema. I assume that's Brian Fiabema. Long-range effort well over the bar. I was actually looking at Brian Fiabema a couple of seasons ago. I think it was last season, yeah. When he signed for Horsens on a free, I was looking to try and sign him. We were never going to get him, apparently. Right, let's do some changes. It is going to be Jallo coming off. We're going to do Butterfield, I think, coming on. We're going to take off Shandon as well for Seka. Medley as well is going to come off for Markanich, who recently has picked up Philippines caps. I thought he was an American. I mean, he is American, but he's also eligible to play for the Philippines, and he's managed to get some caps. Fair play. Final 5 minutes. I want to do another change, and this is more for a time-wasting thing. Christiansen's going to come on as a right-back. Can't really play there. Mads Borch as well is going to come on for Marcondes. That's all of our subs, and there is a highlight, and Horsens have the ball. That's not good. That's really not good, because if they get something from this, Markanich is going to hopefully get there first from Fiabema's flicked head, and does so. Tinderbeer to Willis, plays it back to Yurchuk. Big lump upfield from the Ukrainian keeper. It's coming back towards us, though. Don't be an equaliser. It's Sigurdsson on the wing, and Brian Fiabema's there to make it 1-1. We might be looking back at this result in a few months' time, or an episode or so's time, and think this is what has killed our season. Our XGs are 2.1. Our XGs are 2.1. Theirs wasn't even a 1, and we've drawn 1-1. Why? Why did we not take our chances? We've gone forward a few more days and we've played our final preliminary phase game against Bromby, and it was a 0-0 draw, which doesn't sound amazing, but it's better than a defeat. So we've picked up one further point. Annoyingly, Vejle played Horsens, but that was a draw. Looking at the table, this is a 4-team battle for relegation. Arguably, Horsens are out of it. It's between Vejle, Esbjerg and Nordisland for the other relegation spot. And I am genuinely worried because our form has not been good. We've won 5 matches all season. We've beaten Vejle twice. We've beaten Horsens, we've beaten Nordisland, and we've beaten AGF. I think we might be getting relegated.